Hi, this video is a continuation to the previous product costing functionality which we have discussed. In that video, we have basically gone through the different kind of costing, the different strategy which you can apply on the product removal process, and what are the different methods you would be using for the costing purpose. However, we haven't tried it with the real data. So here what we're going to do here is we're going to look at certain products where the cost is not there, and let's see how the cost is getting applied on it. So you can see that these are this is the complete list of products what you have there. And if you look at the products by category, you would be able to understand that we have some products where we have some cost price which is reflected. So if you look at the Dell all-in-one PC, it is having 3000 as a cost. Similarly, if you're looking at Apple laptops or Dell laptops, which is also having the cost price which is defined. But you do have some other products where the cost price is not reflected. Now, what we're going to do here is we will show you by taking those products where the cost price is not there, and we will try to demonstrate it how the cost is automatically calculated. So looking at this screen, I've just filtered only those products where the cost is zero. And if you basically look into all these products, what you can see here is, let's look at the HP all-in-one. The cost price seems to be zero. And let's say that if you want to update the cost, you won't be able to update it. The reason for that is, like we've told, that this product is having an automated costing method, and the costing strategy which we're using here is based on this specified uh, product category, where you're telling that it is based on the price of first in first out. So what was the initial purchase value, that will be used till you get exhausted with that stock, then it goes to a second pricing, and goes on and on for that. So what we are interested here is we are interested to see this on a real case. So let's go through this scenario, and these are all the products which does not have the cost at this point of time. Now, just for a reference to come back and review that, I've just exported the same data here, so you can see that these are all the product. So what we're going to do here is we will take two Samsung RAMs and two HP products, and let's try to purchase these products from the market. So normally whenever you require these products, you would go ahead and you will make the purchase. And here you go, I'm just selecting Samsung here. I'm sorry, what was the name? Sorry, there was a spelling mistake on that product. uh, Please bear with us, it is not Samsung. It was a typo mistake over there, but however, I'm not going to change it, or else let me just change it, otherwise it looks really bad. Let me just tap in and update it on the go, so that that awkwardness is not there, that it's a small error. Let me just also look at it. Perfect. So we have added that two products there, and from the HP side, I'm just taking in laptop and HP all-in-one as well. So these are the four products which I'm going to purchase from the company, called as Blue Chip Computers. And let's put it like all the products, I'm taking 5 units of it. So I made the quantity as 5. I'm using the same number because it's easy for us to understand the variations. And I'm telling that the cost of 4 GB is 100 dirhams. This is going to be 150 dirhams, let's put it that way. And HP laptops, putting 2800, all in one, somewhere around the same thing. So this is what the price I received for all these products. Now basically what I'm going to do here is I'm confirming this order, and I'm basically receiving this product. So when I receive this product, there is going to be some products where it requires a lot number. So as you can see here, it is one product which requires a lot number, that is our laptops. So all the laptops, we are actually capturing the lot number to understand which lot it belongs to when you actually deal with that. So if you go to the inventory, you can see that this is a product where you're having a tracking number against it. So what I would really require to do here is I'll have to step in and tell what lot number this belongs to. So I can create a lot number. I'm just putting some reference on HP and confirm it. So I have put HP laptop here, and I'm telling that I got all the 5 units of it. And let me just put the numbers for the rest of them. Now this can be automatically done. That automatic number has been given for your lots whenever you have it. But I'm not doing that at this point of time because I just want to focus more on the costing side of it. Well, great. So basically, what I've done here is I've done the complete, delivery receival of the product. So I am telling the system that I received all these products from the blue chip. It's time for you to go ahead and bill for that. So I'm just creating the bill against it, and I'm just validating and closing it. So basically, from here, the system will be identifying each product cost has been already in the system right now. But if you go back and look at the costing side of it, you might not be able to see the price of each products even after purchasing it, because the system will wait for the first transaction to trigger, wherein the numbers would be automatically updated after that. So if you look at it, even if we made some purchase, we don't have any of the products which is having the kind of values which we are looking for. So the products which we are looking here is HP. So let's put it like HP here, and you can see that your quantity is 5 quantity on hand, and the cost is still 0. Now let's try to do the same thing by trying to do a sales on the product. So here what I'm going to do here is I'm trying to sell the same product which I purchased to some customer, and you can see that from that moment onwards it will start triggering all the transactions automatically. So let me just put HP laptop here, and I'm just taking HP all-in-one, and Samsung 4 GB, Samsung 8 GB. So once you have given it, I'm just making all the products as 3 units. That's just for the easy understanding purpose. And there you go. So basically I have told that I'm interested on this products, and I'm confirming this product. And the moment I confirm and I create a shipment details here, you would have a validate button here. When I validate it, the stock is moving out to the customer. That's it. So at this point of time, if you go back and check your inventory, the inventory would have started compiling the cost price for the products. So if you come back and if you look at the products, and if you start looking for the HP and Samsung, you can see that all the four products have automatically the cost price from the purchase order. So let's try to duplicate one more screen here for easy understanding, and let's move into the purchase part of it. We had the purchase order for this product here, and let's look at the price which we have actually given. Right, that was okay. So let's look at it. HP all-in-one, the cost is like 2,450. You can see that the HP all-in-one, where you have this is purchase orders, 2,450. That's a unit price which was the purchase value. Similarly, you go back and look for the laptops, you can see that it's 2,800, it's 2,800. So the system is looking for that first initial purchase order, and it is basically taking all those numbers from there. Now let's try to do a similar scenario in an advanced method. That is like we are trying to slightly add some more purchase. So I'm just duplicating it. This time I'm having maybe like another 10 more quantities, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to slightly play with the price of it. So instead of 100, I'm going to make it as 120, 150 I'm going to make it 180, 2,800 is going to be 2,600. Let's put it like this. And this is going to be 2,700. So I'm just giving different prices so that I can show you that how the FIFO is actually working in the system. Just confirming this order. I'm receiving these products. So this time what I'm going to do here is I'm going to receive more products here. So let me give the lot number, or else let me create another lot for that. There you go. So confirmed it. Now let me put this 10 units I received. This one I received another 10 units. And finally, this one is also going to be 10 units. Perfect. Right, I'm validating it. So when I validated, what you could see here is the stock would have automatically increased. So let's go back and look into the stocks part of it. So when you go to the inventory, and I'm sorry, not accounting, inventory, and if you look at the master data, and let's look at HP and Samsung, you can see that the products have increased here. So we actually had 5 units which we purchased initially, but the price cost remains the same, because as per the FIFO, for the next 2 more items, because out of the first initial purchase of 5 items, we have only sold 3 items. So next 2 items will be having the same price. After that, it will be automatically taking the new price. So let me show you that. Now meanwhile, I also want you to have a look at the HP laptops, where we have different lots, where you can see on hand quantity, which will come back and tell you that you have this lot how many units pending, and this lot how many units pending. Now if you really require any products where you need expiry details or something like that, we can have the expiry lots enabled onto the system. However, let's go back and try to make one more sale and try to understand how this is going to operate there. So instead of creating all these things, just to make it a bit more easier, I'm just duplicating it, because I don't want to type in all this information. So there you go. I saved it. I'm again confirming it, and I'm gonna push the shipment here. So when I do the shipments, validate it. Perfect. So I have validated the shipment, and this time when you come back and when you look at your product costing part of it, you can see that the product costing would have been changed automatically. So let's look into that. I'm gonna take HP and Samsung, the same one, and boom, that's it. You can see that very clearly here. When you go to the purchase orders, and let's look at the first purchase order. As per the first purchase order, the HP all-in-one was 2,450, but you look at it, the price have changed. All-in-one is 2,700, which is nothing else but the latest, the PO number 004 price point, that is like 2,700. So the system is automatically looking into the first in first out format, and it is actually identifying how exactly the costing needs to be derived. Now you could also step into the reporting part of it, where you could also enable a lot of details with respect to what each product is going to provide it to you. What is your cost price? If you want a margin, or if you want a cost price to be populated out here, we can populate it. It's all custom reporting what you can do it, and that would also give you a bit more information exactly what is the profit on each entry point. So that's what we wanted to discuss, how the automatic costing is working in the system. And if you do have any questions with respect to this, feel free to reach out to us. We will be more than happy to assist you with that.